Hello, pickbreakers and sheep punchers. This is JuryDutySummons, and welcome back to How to TerraFirmaCraft. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to find metal. How to find the early metals, at least, the ground surface ones. So, while you're running around collecting various things, always make sure you're punching these rocks. And if these rocks happen to have an ore, just like that one right there, drop a cobble where it is and collect your ore. This is going to give us some valuable information. Usually these will exist within, I want to say 50 of an underground ore source. Punch a few more. Oops, that wasn't correct. What the hell am I doing? Let's not confuse myself. Okay, for this video, I'm going to be assuming that you guys have already created a prospector's pick, a pickaxe, and a saw. Saws are very useful, and we're going to be needing them later in the video, but you can actually do without the saw if you really want. I'm not finding any more. A little bit concerning. Let's keep going. There we go. There's one more. Cool. What happens is these will create a cluster, and that cluster is going to give you some valuable information about where it is underground. That's just a rock. Okay. Well, let's find a little bit more here. It's a slightly disappointing size of a cluster here. But you can see this kind of area that's been created here, this kind of big oval shape. That means the ore is somewhere below here. Probably fairly deep, if I'm reading that right. Oh, look at that. There's another one. Okay. That might mean I was slightly off in the shape of it. There we go. Okay. That kind of tells me that this kind of bigger circle here, it's somewhere below this area. So when you find, like, you cleared out an area and you have kind of this pattern, try to find, like, the center of it. So it's about right there, I think. So let's go over there. And we're going to need a shovel for this part. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start digging straight down. I like to dig a 3x3 shaft and then make a spiral staircase in it. You can do anything you want. This is just the easiest way I've found, because it allows you to, what's it called? It doesn't collapse on you like dirt would. Okay. There we go. Let's see if we've gotten lucky. We'll take the prospector's pick. It will check to see whether there's ore. Found nothing of interest. Okay, then it's probably deeper. Prospector's pick only goes about 12 down, and the ore samples go about 50 down. So I could be wrong on that number, by the way. Could be very, very wrong. Okay, let's see if we can get down into the dirt here without causing a collapse on us. There we go. Traces. Aha! There we go. So what I'm doing here is I'm right-clicking with the prospector's pick. That's going to check an area 12 by 12 around the place where you clicked. If it detects only a couple pieces, it'll say traces. If it detects a lot, it'll say large deposit or something like that. So keep an eye on what that does. Let's see here. Dig down a little bit further. We're going to be looking for a large deposit here pretty soon. Oops. Still traces. Oh, looks like there's 2 different ores. That's interesting. That makes things a little bit weirder, but not a big deal. We can make that work. The prospector's pick will sometimes show that nothing was found, even if there's ore there. So you do have to click a couple of times. Let's check again. Small sample. So small is better than traces, so we're improving here. Alright, so this is probably a good place to start branching out at this level. It's just kind of exploratory right now. So I'm going to dig a shaft maybe 5 in and see what happens, see if the reading improves at all. And if it does, then we know they're going the right direction. If it doesn't, then we'll try the other way. So small sample is better than traces, so I think we're kind of going the right direction here. Okay, let's see here. How are we doing now? So medium sample on the left-hand side and traces on the right. That means it's probably in that direction, or maybe a little bit lower. It's hard to tell right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep following this until I get to perhaps a large sample or something like that. So we'll keep going. All right. So I've dug quite a ways down here. Well, not quite a ways, but, you know, not too far. And it's finally gone back to traces of sapphirite. So it's kind of getting too far away. We're going the wrong direction now. So what we need to do is find the edge of the medium, which is the highest we got. So it looks like that's the edge. So I'm going to mark it with a... let's mark it with the dirt, I guess. That's about right. So I'll just stick it right there too. Why not? Let's find the other edge. So we're going for the sapphirite, so we have to ignore the casterite. So medium sample, medium sample. So it looks like this is actually the edge over here. So close enough. So now we got to try to find the middle point between these two. So it's about here. I'm not going to sit there and count it. So now we have another point to start digging from. And so I kind of think it's in this direction because it seemed to be higher on this left side of the wall. So we'll just go with that and see what happens. Well, we're finding some large samples here. We were. There we go, large sample. So medium right there and large. That means it's below us to some area. Probably right below us. So I'm going to start digging in that direction and see what happens. It's a really good idea to bring ladders with you when you're mining, because it's often makes more sense to dig straight up and down. And so having some ladders can kind of help you do that. Otherwise, you'll have to build staircases, and trying to determine what's going on with staircases is just a little bit harder sometimes. Alright, so we're still seeing large samples here. And so I'm going to keep going down until we run out of large or get to very large, and then we'll go from there. So look what we ran into. This is a sapphirite. So you can see it's a very similar texture, except it's just a little bit dirtier. If you want to be sure that it's the ore you think it is, you can use the prospector's pick right on it. It'll say found sapphirite. Unfortunately, this is not a very big sapphirite deposit. Oops, very large, but it's certainly going to be enough to get something done. All right, so let me build a little staircase out of here. It's a little bit dark now. Torch, there we go. Build a ladder out of here. Ta-da! Okay, cool. That's mostly what I was concerned about here. Okay, let's get back down here. Cool. Alright, so we have a saw, and we're going to need that saw for a reason. So we're going to take some of the wood we have. We have this crappy wood. Oh well, close enough. And there's going to be two things we're going to need. So if I can remember how to make them. Apparently not. There we go. So the saw on top, and then 2 stacks of wood below it, you can make support beams. We're going to make 16 horizontal supports. And then the same thing, except the wood on the saw on the top left, and the logs on the right, to make vertical support beams. So we'll make some of those as well. This is going to be important to keep the roof from falling in on us. So while we're digging this out, we're going to have to be careful about the roof falling in. So I shall dig a little bit here to show you what I mean. Oh, looks like we got both ores right now. That's interesting. What was that? Castrolite? Cool. So you can see here it's castrolite rather than small castrolite. So the small ones are the ones you pick up off of the ground outside. The bigger ones are the ones you get from underground. The difference is quite important. It means you're going to be getting a lot more ore when you're smelting. So anyway, let's keep digging this stuff out. It's actually quite nice that we ran into both of them. It's going to be really handy. Yay. Okay, let's see if I can cause a cave-in so you guys can see what's going on with the cave-ins before I show you how to solve them. It's a nice little deposit we found here. Nice. Getting a bit dark. Let's solve that. There we go. So you'll notice my prospector's pick is almost dead. That seems to be the case every time. If you do it right, your prospector's pick will survive through finding the ore. Sometimes luck is not on your side, and you're going to run out, and you'll have to make another one. That's totally understandable, and it's pretty common, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, so the castrolite and the sapphirite, so ores only stack to 8. So you can see I have 2 stacks of 8. Each stack of 8 is going to correspond to 2 bars, I believe. I think it's 2. It might be less or more. I can't remember exactly. So it's a pretty good conversion. I'm going to stand right here so in case this collapses, it won't collapse on me. Okay. Question is, why hasn't it collapsed yet? It's kind of funny. Right now we have this whole area, this roof right here is not being supported by anything. It could collapse at any time. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, is collapse it on purpose. It's a little bit bigger here. Come on, collapse. Ores are self-supporting, but I don't think any of the roof is made from ores right now. Cool. So, the next video we're going to talk about an easier way to smelt all of this, and that's going to be using the bloomery. We have a lot of ore, so trying to deal with this in the fireplaces, well, you can. There's no problem with that, but it's going to be it's going to take a long time. Well, I guess I'm a liar, and we don't need the I guess we don't need that stuff. Okay, let's see if I can make this happen on us. Man, I've had it collapse on even smaller, deposits here. Why isn't it collapsing on us? The one time I want it to collapse, it won't. See, all that ore on the floor, too. That's just a lot of ore. It's really interesting that the ores came together like that. darkness. We might as well... You don't want to break a tool all the way, because you can take a tool and two tools of the same type and use them to repair each other. And so I don't have any to show you right now, but if I had some, I'd show you. It's the same way the repair works in regular Minecraft. And it's just really nice when you have metal tools and you're able to get some more life out of them, because they're such, well, they're expensive really in time and resources. Well, I can't show you the roof collapsing. I'll just show you how you would prevent it. If it were to collapse, I could show you how to prevent it. Okay, so horizontal supports, or vertical supports, go from the floor to the roof. Horizontal supports go out from the top and hold the roof up. Now that beam will hold up quite a bit of area. So I think it's like 4 from the beam, from the support. It's like 3 or 4, so it holds that all the way out to there, so you don't have to get too crazy. Problem is you can't walk under them if there's not enough room. So if we cut down like that, so there we go. So it's a good habit to put these supports up sometimes when you start getting into bigger rooms like this. Alright, how many uses do I have left on this? 24. Okay. Try to get as much out of this as we can without breaking it. Probably get some good amounts of ore. Well, anyway, thanks guys for watching. This is how you find ore. Sometimes it takes a bit more exploring, and sometimes it takes less. But this time we did pretty good. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a bit of practice to learn the feel of how this works. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know, and have a great day.